What if I told you the most realistic thing about Grand Theft Auto 6 isn't the graphics? University researchers used Grand Theft Auto, a crime game, to train real self-driving cars. That actually happened, and that's not even the wildest part. And the city in GTA 6, it's built on top of a real criminal economy that literally bankrolled a major American city, billions of dollars, daytime shootouts, a history so wild that Rockstar didn't have to make anything up. Most people have absolutely no idea. By the end of this video, you're going to know things about GTA 6 that the gaming press completely missed. Things that'll change how you see video games. Honestly, maybe how you see reality. Stick with me. What makes GTA 6 the most scientifically advanced consumer product ever built? And why does a video game, a crime simulator, contain more real physics than most science textbooks? I'm not being dramatic. Let's actually find out. Alright, so let's actually go back, way back, because to understand why GTA 6 looks and feels the way it does, you have to understand the real city it's built on. And Miami, real Miami, has a history that is honestly wilder than anything Rockstar could invent. By 1980, and I want you to really let this sink in, an estimated 70% of all cocaine entering the United States was flowing through South Florida. 70, not half, not a majority, 70%. The Miami metro area, which had been a sleepy resort town just decades before, had essentially become the financial capital of the global drug trade. Now, here's the thing people don't understand about that era. It wasn't just crime, it was economics. Colombian cartels, primarily the Medellin cartel under Pablo Escobar, were shipping hundreds of millions, sometimes billions of dollars worth of cocaine through Florida. And all that cash had to go somewhere. Rival trafficking organizations, people history now calls the cocaine Cowboys, conducted literal daytime shootouts in shopping malls, in parking lots, in broad daylight on public streets. The Dade County Medical Examiner's Office got so overwhelmed with murder victims that they had to rent a refrigerated truck from Burger King to store bodies. That's not me being dramatic. That actually happened. And all that cocaine money had to go somewhere, so it went into real estate, into nightclubs, into banks, into the glittering high-rises and pastel-colored hotels you still see in Miami Beach today. The modern city of Miami was, quite literally, financed by the drug trade. The skyline you see today, a significant chunk of it was built with narco dollars being laundered through legitimate businesses. Rockstar knew all of this when they designed Vice City. GTA 6 is set in a fictional version of Florida called Leonida, and its main city, Vice City, is Miami. Not inspired by Miami, not based on Miami. It is Miami. Down to the architecture, down to the neighborhoods, down to the street grid. The coastline geometry follows actual Miami topography. Real urban planning decisions made over a century, encoded into a video game. And the game's two main protagonists, Jason Duval and Lucia Caminos, are a romantically involved couple caught in a criminal world bigger than themselves. Rockstar explicitly described their story as being inspired by the real story of Bonnie and Clyde. Two real people, a real piece of American criminal history, encoded into the DNA of the game. That's not a game mechanic, that's history. Okay, hold on one second, real quick. Before we get into the science, which honestly is where this thing gets completely insane, I want to ask you something. If you could live inside GTA 6's Vice City for one full in-game day, no consequences, no wanted level, cops literally don't exist, what is the first thing you do? Drop it in the comments right now. I read every single one of those, and the answers are always genuinely hilarious. Okay, back to the science. Alright, now here's where this gets genuinely mind-bending. The most impressive piece of technology inside GTA 6 is something that most players will never consciously notice. It's called EUPHORIA, and it is, I want to be really clear here, a simulation of the human nervous system, not inspired by the human nervous system, not designed to look like the human nervous system, an actual functional computational model of how your body physically moves. So, to understand why EUPHORIA is such a big deal, you first have to understand how traditional game animation actually works. And it's actually kind of embarrassingly simple. In traditional games, pretty much every game ever made before this, when a character gets hit, falls, or stumbles, the engine plays a pre-recorded animation, like a digital flipbook. It looks the same every time because it is the same every time. Your brain eventually notices, it breaks immersion, and you start to feel like you're watching a puppet, not a person. EUPHORIA throws that entire system out the window. Instead of pre-recorded animations, it uses something called dynamic motion synthesis. What this means, and stay with me because this is genuinely cool, is that the engine builds a simulated model of the human body in real time, complete with virtual muscles, a virtual skeletal structure, and a simulated motor nervous system. The character's body doesn't play an animation when it gets hit. It physically reacts, in real time, the same way your body would if the same thing happened to you. Every single collision, fall, stumble, or knockback is unique because the physics are calculated fresh, from scratch, every single time. Think about what happens when you trip on the sidewalk. Your nervous system fires off a cascade of reflexive muscle contractions in about 50 to 100 milliseconds, long before your conscious brain has even processed that you're falling. Your arms come out automatically, your core tightens, your legs shuffle to try to catch your balance. That's your motor nervous system doing its job, without your permission. EUPHORIA does exactly that. For virtual characters, in real time, every single time something hits them. And because the GTA 6 version has been significantly upgraded, NPCs that have been injured now move differently. They favor the hurt limb. Their gait changes. If they're scared, genuinely in a fear state, they run like a scared person runs, not like a game character, like a human being. Alright, let's shift gears, because we've done the biology. Now I want to talk about physics, specifically light, because GTA 6 does something with light that is, honestly, just beautiful. It's called ray tracing, and it is based on real, documentable electromagnetic physics, the same math that physicists use to model actual photon behavior in the real world. I know, photon behavior sounds like something you'd sleep through in a physics lecture, but trust me, this one is worth it. So here's the thing about traditional game lighting, and this is going to ruin every older game for you. It's essentially fake. Traditional game engines use a technique called rasterization, which paints light onto surfaces. It approximates what light looks like from a fixed perspective, but it doesn't simulate how light actually moves, bounces, or behaves in the physical world. It's fast, it's efficient, but it's a lie. And once you know it, you start seeing that flat, slightly plastic quality in older game lighting, and you can't unsee it. Ray tracing flips the whole thing. Instead of approximating light, the engine actually traces the path of millions of virtual photons in real time, bouncing them off surfaces, calculating how much gets absorbed or reflected by each material, and computing the final color and brightness of what you'd actually see. It is the same math physicists use to model real electromagnetic radiation behavior. And Digital Foundry, one of the most respected technical analysis outlets in gaming, confirmed after analyzing the GTA 6 trailers that the game uses real-time ray-traced reflections and global illumination. Global illumination means that light bounced off one surface actually lights up adjacent surfaces. So if the sun hits a white building, the sidewalk next to that building gets slightly brightened by the reflected light, exactly like real life. running inside a video game. Okay, new topic. And this one is going to sound made up. It is not made up. In 2016, and this is documented in a published academic paper, researchers from Intel Labs and the University of Darmstadt in Germany used GTA 5 as a training environment for real-world autonomous driving AI. They fed GTA 5 traffic simulation data into machine learning algorithms to teach AI systems how to navigate roads, recognize pedestrians, and respond to accidents. Real driverless car technology, trained inside a crime game. The paper is titled Playing for Data: Ground Truth from Computer Games. Look it up. It's real. Now, GTA 6 is taking that kind of AI complexity and applying it to every single NPC in the game. Rockstar has filed patents describing NPC driving systems where each individual character has their own unique driving profile. Different acceleration rates, different braking distances, different cornering habits. Some NPCs are cautious drivers who stop at every light. Others are aggressive, speeding, weaving, tailgating, and these behaviors respond dynamically to conditions. Rain comes on, NPCs slow down. A traffic jam forms, they reroute to side streets in real time. Not because a script told them to, because their AI calculated that it was the better option. But here's the part that genuinely keeps game developers up at night. They remember. The NPC system tracks player behavior and builds a history. If you've been regularly aggressive in one neighborhood, NPCs in that area start to fear and avoid you. Law enforcement AI tracks your behavioral history across sessions and responds accordingly. This is essentially reinforcement learning, the same fundamental AI paradigm used in DeepMind's AlphaGo and in large language models, running inside a video game in real time. The NPCs aren't just reacting to what you're doing right now, they're reacting to who you've been. Now, let's talk about the world all of this happens inside, because this is where GTA 6 stops being a game and starts being something closer to a digital geographic model. The GTA 6 map, the state of Leonida, is estimated to be 2 to 3 times larger than GTA 5's Los Santos. But honestly, size isn't even the impressive part. The coastline geometry follows actual Miami topography. The street grid reflects real urban planning decisions made in the actual city over the last century. Rockstar's designers used real South Florida geography and architecture data to reconstruct Vice City. It's not a recreation of Miami, it is a digital model of Miami. And here's the strange loop that I genuinely cannot stop thinking about. The construction boom of 1980s Miami, the hotels, the high-rises, the Art Deco buildings, a significant portion of that development was financed by narco dollars being laundered through real estate and legitimate businesses. So when you walk through GTA 6's Vice City and you're admiring the architecture, the pastel buildings, the glass towers, the neon-lit hotels, you're looking at a digital recreation of buildings that, in real life, were physically built with cocaine money. The game's fictional criminals are walking the streets of a world that real criminals already built. There's a strange, recursive loop there that's hard to ignore. GTA 6 is scheduled to release on November 19, 2026, after 2 official delays. Rockstar said they needed additional time to polish and perfect the experience. And after everything we've just covered, the EUPHORIA Neuroscience engine, the real-time ray-traced photon physics, the AI behavioral memory system sophisticated enough to run reinforcement learning, the geographically accurate digital model of a real American city, that delay makes complete sense. Because what they're building isn't just a game, it is a system. A full-scale, real-time simulation of physical reality, human behavioral biology, and documented urban history, all running simultaneously on a consumer game console. And here's the open question that I'll leave you with. because I don't actually have the answer, and I think that's kind of the point. If a simulation becomes realistic enough, accurate enough in its physics, its history, its human behavioral modeling, at what point does it stop being a simulation? At what point does the line between modeled reality and reality start to blur? I don't know. But I think Rockstar, whether they intended it or not, is building something that's going to start forcing people to ask that question seriously. If this video made you see GTA 6 differently, even a little bit, smash that like button and share it with one person in your life who thinks GTA is just mindless mayhem. Show them this. Prove them wrong. That's genuinely the best thing you can do for this channel. And if you want to go deeper, we've got a full video on the real history of Miami's cocaine era, how it actually went down, who the real cocaine cowboys were, and just how close reality was to a crime movie. It is wild. It's linked right here. I'll see you in the next one.